First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. This is the breakdown of Sirach 6, Prove a Friend. I have my two readers, my two sons, Jamal.
Shalom.
And Jacob.
Shalom.
Okay, and we're going to be breaking down. We have our tools. We have the 1611. We have the Apocrypha and KJV and the Strongs. So I'm going to be breaking down. Okay, let's start from the top. All right, verse 1. Let's get Sirach 6 and 1. Okay.
This is Ecclesiastics, chapter 6, verse 1. Instead of a friend, become not an enemy, for thereby thou shalt inherit an ill name, shame, and reproach. Even so shall a sinner that hath a double tongue.
So when you inherit a ill name, you know, that brings a lot of, when you want to prove a friend, you want to inherit, not inherit bad names, you know, like whispering and things of that nature, you know. So let's get the precept, Sirach 28 and 13.
This is Ecclesiastics, verse 28 and 13. Curse the whisperer and double-tongued, for such have destroyed many that were at peace. A backbiting tongue hath disquieted many, and driven them from nation to nation. Strong cities hath it pulled down, and overthrown the houses for great men.
Okay, so you can see as a whisperer, as becoming friends, you know, or seeking out friendship, you know, you want to make sure that they're not a whisperer, or, you know, somebody talking behind your back, you know, and you know, let's just get the precept. Sirach 21 and 28.
This is Ecclesiastics, verse 21, chapter 2. He flee from sin.
Salakia 28 and verse 21 and 28.
Ecclesiasticus, verse 21, chapter 28. A whisper defieth his own soul, and is hated wheresoever he dwelleth.
Con. So again, you know, being a whisperer, you know, that goes a lot in Israel. People talking behind your back and everything like that. You know, let's get one more precept. We're gonna go to the next verse. Psalms 41 and 7.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 41, verse 7. All that hate me whisper together against me too they devise my hurt.
Again, that's, you know, that's that whisper, and it's a commandment. You know, it's a commandment that we shouldn't bear false witness against each other, you know, against our neighbor, you know. So let's go back to verse 2. Sirach chapter 6, verse 2.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 6, verse 2. Extol not thyself in the counsel of thine own heart. That
So what, Salaki? So what does it mean to extol? You know, to come to extol something is to rise up and have an ill name. You know, you're thinking yourself highly than what you ought to. You know, there's a Latin word meaning extola. Let's get that in the Strong's. Extol. Okay, it's not in the Strong's. I'm just gonna look it up on Google. Biblical definition for extol. Okay. To rise to rise in words, to praise, to exalt, in commandship. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to rise up and have yourself all puffed up, thinking you higher than what you ought to think of yourself. You don't want to do that. So that comes into pride. That's when pride comes in, and pride, we all know pride comes before destruction. Let's prove that. Let's get that in the scriptures. And that's Psalms 16 and 18. And Proverbs 16 and 18.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and an haughty spirit before a fall.
Yeah. So pride goes before destruction. You don't want to have that pride. You don't want to be puffed up. Let's get another precept. Proverbs 11 and 2.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 2. When pride cometh, then cometh shame, but with the lowly is wisdom.
Salakia, see, that's that shame. When you get an ill name, back to that ill name, you come shame. Back to verse 1. That's the same thing. Go ahead.
The integrity of the upright shall guide them, but the
Salakia, that's just verse 2, son. Now read it again.
when pride cometh, then cometh shame, but with the lowly is wisdom.
So with the lowly is wisdom. You don't want to be meek and humble. You don't want to have that prideful spirit. Go ahead back to verse 2 in Sirach.
This is Ecclesiastic chapter 6, verse 2. Extol not thyself in the counsel of thine own heart, that thy soul be not torn in pieces as a bull straying alone.
Yeah, you don't be that lonely bull. You don't be stringed along. You want to be by yourself, thinking you all that. So let's get a precept on that, man. Salakia. Yeah. Ecclesiastes 4 and 9. Nah, you all right. Just stay right here. Ecclesiastes 4 and 9. You gotta be quick on the sword, son. Alright? 4 and 9.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4, verse 9. Two are better than one because they have a good reward for their labor.
Go ahead. Verse 10.
For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. But who to him that is alone when he falleth, for he hath not another to help him up.
Mm-hmm. So the scripture's telling you now, you know, it's two better than one. Two better than one. If you fall down, you by yourself, being that lonely bull, you know, you ain't gonna have nobody to help you up. You know, but when you have your brother, you have a friend, you know, and you fall down, they're there to pick you up. You know? They're there to pick you up. Go ahead. Continue reading. Verse 3.
Thou shalt eat up thy leaves, and lose thy fruit, and leave thyself as a dry tree.
Yeah, see, and then when it comes to leaves, that's doctrines. You know, that's understanding, that's different doctrines. Let's prove that. Sirach 19 and 19. Let's get that.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 19, verse 19. The knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life, and they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality.
Ooh, the immortality. When you keeping the commandments, you keeping the laws, the statutes, and the commandments, that's immortality. That's that tree of life that you want. All right, continue. Go back to Sirach 6 and 4.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 6, verse 4. A wicked soul shall destroy him that hath it, and shall make him to be laughed to scorn of his enemies.
So when you wicked, you know, you're going to be laughed at amongst your enemies. You know, and that word scorn, it means to mock, you know. When somebody mocking you, laughing at you, ribbing you and all that, you know. Go ahead.
Sweet language will multiply friends, and a fair, sweet speaking tongue will increase kind greetings.
Yeah, that's self-explanatory right there, you know. You, again, being meek and humble, you know, you talking and building. You know, you don't have this puffed up spirit, this proud spirit, you know. You being meek and humble, you know. Go ahead.
Be in peace with many, nevertheless have but one counselor of 1,000.
Yeah, but when you're in peace with many, you know, you meek and humble. Go ahead.
If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him.
That's right.
For some man is a friend for his own occasion, and will not abide in the day of thy trouble.
Bring it out. Keep going.
And there is a friend who being turned to enmity.
Enmity. Okay, let's look up that word enmity. Huh? Come on, Jay. Let me see you read that, Jay. Enmity.
The quality of being an enemy, the opposite of friendship,
Ill,
ill,
ill will, hatred,
ill will, hatred, unfriendly dispositions,
hmm disposition,
dispositions, mal, ma, mal, mal,
help them out, Marley. Help them out.
Male violence.
So, so when somebody, let's read that with that understanding. Let's read that with enmity. So enmity is the quality of being the enemy. The quality of being the enemy. You know, the opposite of friendship. You know, so let's read that with that understanding.
And there is a friend who, being turned to an enemy and strife, will discover thy reproach.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Again, some friend is a company at the table, and will not continue in the day of thy affliction.
That's verse 10, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's get the precept on verse 10.
37.
Yeah, Sirach 37 and 5.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 37, verse 5. There is a companion which helpeth his friend for the belly, and taketh up the buckler against the enemy.
That's right. That buckler, you taking up arms with your friend. You know? You ain't just being a friend. Y'all riding to die with each other. You know, y'all a friend from the beginning. You see what I'm saying? That's all how you prove a friend. You prove a friend in that matter. You make it show that y'all down with each other, man. Alright? Not in no wickedness. And keeping these laws and statutes and commandments. Being righteous. Alright? Not being whisperers. You know? You understand? Alright? Come on, go back to verse 6.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 6, verse 6.
No, I'm sorry, Salakia. Go back to 10. Read 10 again.
Again, some friend is a companion at the table, and will not continue in the day of thy affliction. But in thy prosperity he will be as thyself, and will be.
Oh, read that again.
But in thy prosperity he will be as thyself, and will be bold over thy servants.
So when you get a friend, he will be as thyself. In your time of trouble, he'll be there. He ain't gonna leave you and dip out on you when you down and out. When you don't have no kind of money, you don't have nothing. You down on your luck. A true friend ain't gonna leave you. And they see all these famous people, they be having friends and all that. When they sitting there making all the money. You know, like on the movie Muhammad Ali. You know, with Will Smith and all that. When he was sitting there, he was the champion. But when your boy whooped him, all of them dipped out. All of them left him. You know, that ain't no friend. And that's all those are ways you can tell, and that's how you prove a friend. By all those things. By all those things going on in your life. You see what I'm saying? So go ahead.
If thou be brought low, he will be against thee, and will hide himself from thy face.
Mm-hmm.
Separate thyself from thine enemies, and take heed of thy friends.
All right. That's again. You know, your friend's gonna let you know what's going on, man. Let you know, look, bruh, homeboy over there talking bad about you, man. Won't you, stay away from him or something. You know? Use few words around that dude because he going around talking bad about you. You understand? Y'all gotta watch that, man. Go ahead.
A faithful friend is a strong defense, and he that hath found such an one hath found a treasure. Nothing doth countervail
Mm-hmm.
a faithful friend and his excellency.
What it means to contravail. Let's look it up. We got it right here.
Is a Latin word. It means to avail or strong.
Mm-hmm.
To act against with equal force or power.
Mm-hmm. That's right. To act against equal force or power. So when you travail something, you and your friend, y'all gonna do it together. Y'all gonna be that strong force. Just like in verse what that is? Verse 14. You know? When it's saying y'all in strong defense. You understand? Go ahead. Go ahead, Mark.
Nothing doeth countervail a faithful friend, and his excellency is invaluable. A faithful friend is the medicine of life.
That's right. The medicine of life.
And they that fear the Lord shall find him. Whoso feareth the Lord shall direct his friendship upright.
Mm-hmm.
For as he is, so shall his neighbor be also.
That's right. Go ahead. Verse 18.
My son, gather instruction from thy youth up.
That's right. Y'all hear that? Y'all hear what's going on? Gather your instruction from your youth up while you're young. You know, don't wait till you get old and talk about, all right, I'm old now. I'm going to get some wisdom. All right? Don't wait till you get old. Okay? Let's get a precept on that.
Proverbs 4.
Yeah.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 1. Hear ye, children, the instruction of a father. And
What? Read that again.
Hear ye, children, the instruction of a father, and attend to no understanding.
That's right. Attend to no understanding. Let's get the precept on that, Jake. That's Proverbs 7 and 12.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 7, verse 12. Now is she without, now in the streets, and leath in wait at every corner.
That's the wisdom. It's talking about the wisdom. You know? Being at the street and waiting at every corner. Talking about wisdom now. You know? You want to have that wisdom. Alright, go ahead, Marlon.
My son, gather instruction from thy youth up. So shalt thou find wisdom till thine old age.
That's right. You're going to find wisdom in your old age.
Come unto her as one that ploweth and soweth, and wait for her good fruits.
What is the her they talking about?
Wisdom.
That's right. All praises. Talking about that wisdom. Come on, let's get that. Sirach 1 and 16, Marlon. Sirach 1. Salakia. Ecclesiastes 1 and 16. Salakia again. It's Sirach 1 and 16. I'm sorry.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 16. To fear the Lord is fulfillment of wisdom.
Huh? What it is?
Fullness of wisdom.
What is fullness of wisdom? Huh, Jay? What is fullness of wisdom? Read it again, Marlon.
To fear the Lord is fullness of wisdom.
What is fullness of wisdom?
To fear the Lord.
That's right. That's right. And how do you fear the Lord? Huh?
With wisdom.
And keeping the commandments. You respect him. You know? Alright?
To fear the Lord is fullness of wisdom, and filleth men with her fruits.
That's right. There's that fruit again. There's that fruit.
She filleth all their
Now,
house.
Salakia, go back to chapter 6. We left off on 19.
Come unto her as one that ploweth and soweth,
Mm-hmm.
and wait for her good fruits. For thou shalt not toil much in laboring about her, but thou shalt eat of her fruits right soon.
Hmm.
She is very unpleasant to the unlearned. He that is without understanding will not remain with her.
That's right.
She will lie upon him as a mighty stone of trail, and he, Salakia. She will lie upon him as a mighty stone of trial, and he will cast her from her
Mm-hmm.
it belong. For wisdom is according to her name, and she is not manifest unto many.
That's right. Everybody ain't gonna know wisdom. Everybody ain't gonna know it. You gotta seek it out. She don't make herself known to everybody. Go ahead.
Give ear, my son, receive my advice.
Read that again.
Give ear, my son, receive my advice,
Mm-hmm.
and refuse not my counsel.
Mm-hmm.
And put thy feet into her fetters, and thy neck into her chain.
Let's look up the word fetters. I like that word, fetters. Let's look up that in the Strongs. Let's look up that word, fetters. Alright. Let's read that.
A chain for feet, a chain by which an animal is confined by the feet, either made fast or fixed as a prisoner, or impeded in motion and hindered from leaping as a horse who for and hind feet are confined by a chain.
That's right. A fetter. So a fetter is a what?
A fetter is a chain for your feet.
That's right. So read that with that understanding.
And put thy feet into her chains, and thy neck into her chain.
Mm-hmm. So what we putting our neck and our feet in?
Her chains.
Who's
Into
the her?
wisdom.
Who is the her?
Wisdom.
That's right. So we would say that we ain't doing nothing with our wisdom. We can't move our necks. We got it around our necks. Wisdom's so strong. We want to keep that wisdom around our necks. All right? Go ahead.
Bow down thy shoulder and bear her, and not be grieved with her bonds. Come unto her with thy whole heart, and keep her ways with all thy power. Search and seek, and she shall be made known unto thee.
Mm-hmm.
And when thou hast got hold of her, let her not go.
That's right. When you get that wisdom, you want to hold on to that wisdom. You don't want to let go of that wisdom. You know, again, you want to keep it around your neck. You want to be like this, holding wisdom around your neck, man. Go ahead.
For at last thou shalt find her rest, and that shall be turned to thy joy.
Mm-hmm.
Then shall her fetters be a strong defense for thee, and her chains a robe of glory.
That's right. Let's read that. Read that change the robes of glory. Let's see that Proverbs 2 and 2.
Proverbs 2 and 2. Proverbs chapter 2, verse 2. So that thou incline thine ear unto wisdom, and apply thine heart to understanding.
That's right. That's right. That's the wrong precept. But we gon' that's Salaki, it was verse 7. Chapter 7
Verse 2.
and verse Salaki. Verse 1 through 3.
Proverbs chapter 7, verse 1, 2, and 3. My son, keep my words and lay up my commandments with thee. Keep my commandments and live in my laws as the apple of thine ear. Bind them unto thy fingers, write them upon the table of thine heart.
That's right. That's right. All right, go ahead. Continue that.
For there is a golden ornament upon her, and her bands are purple lace. Thou shalt put her on as a robe of honor, and shalt put her about thee as a crown of joy.
Mm-hmm.
My son, if thou wilt, thou shalt be taught, and if thou wilt apply thy mind, thou shalt be prudent.
Mm-hmm.
If thou love to hear, thou shalt receive
What does it
understanding.
mean, Salakia? What does it mean to be prudent?
Cunning, usually in a bad sense.
So when you're prudent, you trying to be cunning.
Sneaky,
Yeah, right.
like a fox.
Sneaky fox. That's right. Now read that from the top.
My son, if thou wilt, thou shalt be taught, and if thou wilt apply thy mind, thou shalt be prudent. If thou love to hear, thou shalt receive.
Hold on, Salakia. Let's get that precept. Proverbs 12. No, Proverbs 12 and 30 and
23.
23. Salakia.
Already got it. This is the chapter Proverbs.
This is the book of Proverbs.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 12, verse 23. A prudent man concealeth.
What is that?
It's 12 and 22. It's right here. A prudent man concealeth knowledge, but the heart of fools proclaimeth foolishness.
That's right. That's right. Go ahead.
If thou love to hear, thou shalt receive understanding, and if thou bow thine ear, thou shalt be wise. Stand in the multitude of the elders, and cleave unto him that is wise.
Hmm.
Be willing to hear every godly discourse, and let not the parables of understanding escape thee.
That's right.
And if thou seest a man of understanding, get thee betimes unto him,
That's right.
and let thy foot wear the steps of his door.
That's right. Be times. That's like being like constantly wherever that dude go, that's where you want to go. That's where the elder go, that's where you want to go. You want to be there with him. You know? You want to be right there on him. You know? He got the understanding. That's where you want to learn. You know? He got the instructions. Go ahead.
Let thy mind be upon the ordinance of the Lord, and meditate continually in his commandments.
Hmm.
He shall establish thine heart, and give thee wisdom at thine own desire.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Okay. And that is the end of our or my breakdown of Sirach chapter 7. Salakia. Chapter 6. The approval friend. I'll give a Holly Shalom. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.
All right. Kum Yashua.